Hello everyone, my name is Deckerlink the Trained Unprofessional, and oh my god, when I found out that Echo had a prequel thing going on, I was just like... Holy shit, I gotta play this! So I am very excited. Very excited to say the least. Oh my god. Well, I don't want to wait a second longer. I got the email that this got released right before I headed into work, so I had to sit through an entire shift at work just thinking about, holy shit, I can't wait to play this game when I get home. So let's get the reading glasses on so I don't fuck up as much as possible. Well, y'all know me by now. Y'all know it's gonna be a shit show, to say the least. But let's just get into it, man. Oh my god, oh my god. Apparently this has like 4 routes, but this is a prequel story. You'll find out more about it when we get to it. Oh, look at this. You see what happens when you fucking... Oh, it's like wibbly wobbly. One could almost say it's like it's underwater. Oh god, look at... Oh my god, that's fucking... Oh, Jesus, you know what? Let's just new game. I can't be sitting here freaking out about the menu screen. There was a very singular echo in this ravine. The rattling of wagons, I should say, resembled carpenters hammering at board inside the highest rocks of report. I fucking missed it. The lowing of cattle and braying of mules seemed to be answered beyond the mountains. Music most notably had a very queer effect and resembled a person standing inside the rock imitating every note. Oh, we're getting a call from Mom. Well, let's answer the fucking call from Mom. We don't want to ignore Mom. Looks like we're on a school bus. Oh god, I can't deal with this right now. By the way, since this is a prequel apparently taking place when they were young, everyone gets a higher voice than normal. Can't wait to see what I'm gonna do for TJ. I don't know how that's gonna fucking work. Probably going to be the Shun-kun voice. Oh great, a return of that. I stare at the screen, letting my phone vibrate until it stops. Well, I tried to answer it. I'll try to make it an excuse that it was on silent later. I had been a cringing, flustering mess since this morning. School and my geometry test had kept me only slightly distracted. With the call as a reminder, I feel a welling sensation around my eyes and my vision blurs. I suck in my cheeks before shooting a shaky exhale. Oh, there's the radio. Oh, a crackly radio. Oh, those are just fucking... I get bad ASMR from that shit, man. It's like Fallout all over again. Nothing will ever be the same anymore. My parents won't see me as normal anymore. Why? All because I was daft enough to try to rub one out on the computer before the bus came this morning. Oh boy, you gotta be more careful about that stuff. You can't be just jaking it in the middle of... Okay, real quick. Y'all can't see it because of the way I'm capturing this, but you know, I have Windows 10, and the Windows 10 on the little bar on the bottom, it's represented by a little symbol for all the apps you have saved to your home screen bar. For regular Echo, it has just like Chase's fucking derpy ass face. On this one, it has the outline of Chase's derpy ass face, but it's dark. It's so dark you can't see who it is. Holy shit, man! What am I gonna do about it? I thought they were at work. Mom is usually out by 5 and Dad by 6. But they took the day off on account it's their anniversary. Happy anniversary, babe. What are we gonna do for it? Well, let's see if our son is gonna wish him a happy morning. Oh god, he's jerking off. Oh lordy. So not only did the cats me pants down, prick in hand, but also found out I was gay in one fell swoop of headphone-caused lack of spatial awareness. Oh. Hell nah. I heard Mom scream. Oh, overreaction much. I was so startled I jumped, my headphones coming unplugged from my laptop, blasting Fox X Stallion porn on full blast. Ooh, that's not good. Just when my dad came running in, I remember Mom turned and went to her room, locked the door, and I didn't see her again before I left. Dad, meanwhile, was sort of laughing nervously before I took off to my bus stop. but I could tell from his face that this was beyond awkward for him. I couldn't bring myself to words. Just to words. I just pulled up my shorts and ran to the bus stop. All throughout the day, the thought of coming home and having to face the shame was like being dunked in ice water. Each mile we travel closer to Echo increases that feeling of inevitable awfulness. Well, that's just a fucking... Ooh. That's just a harbinger of things to come for you, isn't it, Chase? Never. I am a ninja. My parents don't suspect a thing. I try to go over excuses in my head. I could maybe attempt to convince them that it was street porn. Both of the guys in the video had pretty visible beard scruff, though. I rub my eyes. The thought of trying to figure out what all my folks saw on the screen makes me want to retch. Makes me want to throw up. I could say it was a virus that took control of my browser window, and it was so startling a prospect that I didn't have time to fully put on my shorts. And the erection was unrelated. Fuck. I peeked through my pause at my phone screen, the symbol for a missed voicemail having appeared on top. I grit my teeth with extreme apprehension, turning my screen off and shoving my phone back into my pocket. Taking a moment to recombobulate, I look around. The bus is pretty empty besides me, the bus driver, who has been trying to get the radio to work the whole ride, and Carl in the seat adjacent to me. Carl, as usual, has his earbuds in with his expensive handheld out, playing some Japanese Tactics RPG. He's probably playing... Well, this is 2008, so... Was the 3DS out by 2008? I feel like it wasn't... I don't remember. I never had the up-to-date shit, so my whole timeline is fucked. Usually we have at least Jeremy, Clint, Heather, Jasmine, and TJ with us, but not today. Important things to note: Jasmine, that's Jenna. Jeremy and Clint, that we know them. Heather, I don't remember Heather. I think wasn't Heather the girl that was with when we were on Jenna's route? She was at the place and she was having like the trip and whatnot. I don't know. Point is, she's not there today. Not many kids who go to the school in Peyton live out in Echo. I'm pretty astonished the bus district expansion covered our town. The bus ride from Peyton to Echo usually takes about 45 minutes, though it feels much longer. Hey! Good ol' loyalty-free, hopefully, country music, especially now. Gonna turn that down just in case. 2008, November 1st, Day of the Dead. Ooh. Alright, now we gotta come up with a young Carl voice. Now, I don't think at this point he would have been a pothead, so he's probably just got a normal-ass higher voice. But his voice, even his high voice, was a little deeper than usual, so I'm not gonna put too much thought in the voices. If I try to fucking craft a voice for the character, I'm not gonna have any fucking fun with it, so it's just like, yuck.
Excuse me, sir. Could you turn down that bluegrass? Clearly there's green grass outside.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one that should be burned and never used again. The Ram looks up from his game to the source of the music, slightly furrow-browed. Our bus driver grins back at him through the rear mirror in a self-satisfied fashion, her gummy Cheshire maw in full yet brief display. Realizing that she is looking back at him, Carl grunts, hunching up his shoulders a bit. Karen, why? She lets out a brief chortle. Well, seeing as I only have you two along with me today, I thought I'd put on some tunes, make your collar a little blue. Oh, she doesn't like the rich kid. Carl begrudgingly pauses his game, pulling out his earbuds and letting them hang over his horns. It was still weird seeing him likes this. Around age 14. Oh, it's 14? Okay. Yeah, Miss Corliss drives a school bus. Around age 14, his horns developed a lot. He complained about headaches and neck strain constantly. Oh, that just happened around age 14. He told me he had to see a chiropractor and stayed over because his horns were so big his neck muscles hadn't developed enough to support him. Even now, a year later, now 15 I imagine, he still sits with a sort of low, hunched posture. That would explain in his sprites. He's always doing this number. He's always doing this.
No neck. Look at that. I could make my neck disappear.
I'm plenty blue-collared, yeah. I live in Echo. She snarks again. Boy, I have seen the size of your manor. No, you ain't. Never would have expected a sort like you to be so pomp and yachty-blooded. Jesus. Fucking Christ. Carl didn't say anything. His emerald gaze shifts some to the seat in front of him. Karen takes a glug from her soda bottle with her free hand, the other steering us through an on-ramp onto the freeway. The spa day I would have on just 1 hour of your... What? The spa day I would have on just 1 hour of your daddy's income. I feel bad for whoever works manny-panty that shift. Hoo-hoo. Jesus. She holds up her calloused right hand, her claws rather stubbed, even for a fox's standard. When I'm not driving you squirts, I do road crew for public works. Ain't your average mom, huh? She gesticulates with a swirling motion as she speaks, then lets her hand hang limply on the steering wheel. Well, that might be the new average here soon enough. Feminism and all that. You two will learn all about that in college, I'm sure. What are you two going for, major-wise? Both of us make no quick move to respond. Jace? I shift some in my seat, clearing my throat so that my voice doesn't crack. Well, I wanted to go into videography and film, but my parents weren't too fond of that, so I guess journalism or communications? Ah! Karen responds so abruptly that it makes me wonder if I said something wrong. Well, my nephew got one of them communication degrees from North Mountain State. Oh, how'd that go? Ended up being a $60,000 piece of paper that earns him $13.25 an hour working old farts, fixing old farts like us computers out of some big box establishment. Nerd Squad. Oh boy, that's Geek Squad. God, Jesus, fuck. This damn off-brand names. Oh, God, I got an earache fucking kicking my ass today. I think they're called a hell if I know. She waves dismissively. I look over at Carl, who looks like all he wants to do is go back to playing his game. I'm still deciding, I guess. What about you, Bighorns? Carl blinks some at the casual speciesism, then scratches the back of his neck. You just plan on going straight to work for your dad right after you graduate? Mom, I don't know yet. Okay. Oh, I thought, because you ever have that moment where you accidentally call a teacher, like mom or something? Just me. But, he's gonna be going to work for his mom. Carl looks pretty uneasy with this topic. He also seems pretty embarrassed at having said mommy out loud. Were I in better spirits, I'd probably laugh. Everyone's good at something, Carl, and hopefully that is something you enjoy too. You're always quiet with your nose in that little device of yours playing games. Maybe that's your future career, something techie? Admittedly, Leo is usually the one who is most handy with fixing our tech stuff. Carl isn't even the best at video games. That title belongs to Jazz. Carl is quiet for a bit, tugging on the strings of his hoodie. I don't know. Looking out the window, I see the sun is setting as we get within 10 or so miles of Echo. Whoa! Oh, we passed the old abandoned water park, which I heard closed shortly after the bypass was built and all its passerby traffic was lost. I think for a moment I see what looks like some figures in the drained pool, though when I try to squint, I don't see them anymore. You know, I was around when that place shut down. I startle some, not realizing I was being watched. Both times, actually. Once in the 60s, then again in the 80s, when it reopened for a year. was during the era of the big government giving out big old water project construction to the state of pennies. LA being the golden child. Our county, as you two squirts are aware, did not become the next Orange County. Spoilers, as my son Keith used to say. She lets out an amused grunt before sterning up some. A lot of folks lost their jobs. It was like a little Great Depression in the middle of Mormon land. Echo has been going to tits for generations, though. Yeah, not for the good, not the good sort of tits either. The real ugly ones, like those. What's the name of the ones? Miss Tethers. Yeah, her. I'm taken off guard at that comment. Mrs. Tethers is a particularly nasty history teacher at PHS who is known for not being too keen on vulpines. I don't know what vulpines are. She does have a rather strangely lopsided pair. Anyway, it is ripe shame. By the time you kiddies are having kitties themselves, this town will be a feast for termites. Well, maybe not the manor. I see Karen's silver eyes focus on Carl. The castle, we used to call it. She says this bit rather strangely, as if trying to remember something specific. Carl is staring out the window, avoiding Karen's stare. In the 2 years we've had her as a bus driver, she's never spoken this much. Most of the time, she'd just be scolding Jeremy and Clint. I have this feeling she's been waiting for this opportunity to speak more personally with Carl for a while. Oh, looks like an old gas station. As we get closer to Echo, we pass more abandoned places. Oh, wow. Some were adorned with faded Art Deco stylings from the bygone modern era, whilst others are but rotting wood from the Mormon settlement days. In my current situation, all these familiar architectural fadings seem to evoke is a pulsating sense of dread for what is to come. Carl, your family has been here for over a century. Way I see it, least they could do is reinvest in what they capitalized on in the first place. Can you just change the radio station? Carl's horns are pressed up against the window, his tone low but his voice loud. Oh yeah? What do you want to set to? Anything but this. Carl looks down at his handheld, fidgeting with stuff in the character screen, but without the focus to actually playing. Fine, what do you want to listen to, Chase? We got country, soft rock, techno, pop, or random. I'm gonna go with pop. I don't know, nothing gets me jacked like some generic pop music. 98.1 FM should have that. What'd you say? You want this but louder? No. Fucking really? This bus driver sucks. Chase, kill me. End my life. Maybe I'll respawn somewhere more peaceful. This is good for you, Carl. You're getting blue-collared, albeit, the hard way. If I wanted to get blue-collared the hard way, I'd borrow Jasmine's jeans, short shorts, and stand assumingly around the motel. Wow! Covering our ears and pressing our heads to the seats in front of us, we endure the hick musical cavalcade, as Jasmine deemed this station. Wow, they actually got a sign that says Echo on it. Holy shit, nice. Glancing sidelong out the bus window, I see that we're less than a mile from home. My paw pads start to feel clammy, and I clutch my knees tight. It is fortunate that Carl is currently preoccupied with burying his muzzle into the faux leather of the seat in front of him as I begin to tremble. Part of me actually wants him to see. I know it is just stalling, but I want to talk to someone. Anyone about all this. It is a small town, and whoever I speak to will know that I like guys, and I'll have to deal with them knowing that fact every day till college. If I go to college. I used to hate being so damn generic. Fucking Flynn whines at how boring I am all the time, but now all I can see are folks looking at me, seeing me as that otter who likes it up the rear, and not as generic Chase. God, that's what my parents will see me as too. That sort of deviant who lives in their home. I imagine them looking at the photos of me around the house now and wishing they could have that back. Never really talked to my parents about relationships and sex stuff, and now I'm just shocking them with this whole new side of me. What an anniversary present I've given them. I look over and see Carl hunched over, his horns pushing into the seat, his gaze focused blankly upon the screen of his handheld. Upon closer inspection, the screen is completely blank, the device is no longer on. It seems he's not in the best of states either. I swallow, debating, disturbing him. Carl might be my best friend, but we don't want to really have deep talks, especially since the lake incident. So this is after Sydney. Maybe I could text someone. I slide my phone out of my pocket, staring at the black screen, much like Carl is now. I realize when I get home, my parents are probably going to demand to see my phone and the messages, so I'll have to remember to delete them. I try to imagine how each of my friends would react, but this is honestly foreign ground, only alluded to in traded insults and jokes. Flynn especially. Oh, God. The loser drops the word in every other sentence as of late, though I think he just chooses it for maximum edginess. Jasmine, on the other hand, might be the most supportive with this sort of thing. You know what's interesting is that in Echo, you have the option to say that you're bi, but here, you're full gay. So, maybe it's a thing that comes with time, I don't know. However, she wasn't at school today. I eavesdropped Flynn mentioning something about issues with her parents and Jeremy to Leo, but couldn't make out specifics. I don't even know how Leo would react to any of this. He makes jokes about poofy stuff all the time, but I could tell there's some unease there. Oh, so this is even before they get together, huh? That leaves TJ. Carl described him once as the moral gooey center of our sandwich of a group of friends. That being said, I'm not sure how much I can actually tell him. He's just barely crossing the puberty threshold right now. Plus the Christianity factor. I uncover one of my ears long enough to pull out my phone, my heart skipping a beat at the new voicemail notification. I quickly swipe over to my contacts. Ooh, this is quite the interesting little nugget. Oh, God. Look at this old iPhone, dude. Confide with Flynn? Hell no. Confide with Carl? He's busy. Confide with Jasmine? She's busy. Confide with Leo? Maybe. Confide with TJ? Doesn't seem like a good idea. My vote would be to go to Leo. Leo is the obvious choice, so let's go with Leo. A lot of people saying Carl as well, but Carl came second. Leo came in first, so confide with Leo. Leo always has a weird sort of paternal vibe going on with him. If someone in our group is feeling down or about to make a stupid decision, he usually goes out of his way to set them straight. Jasmine says that this is largely due to the culture he comes from, the whole pack mentality thing. In truth, though, Leo is one of the first friends I ever made, back when I was like 6. I'm hoping time cuts through the stigma bullshit and he'll have an idea what to do. My thumb pad hovers over his portrait picture in the Messenger app. And here goes nothing. Hey, can I talk to you for a second? I wonder if I shouldn't have done punctuation or capitalization. Maybe try to sound a little more casual. Question marks, busy but what? Oh, look at Leo's picture. Look at that. Fucking shading and shit. Busy but what? That's definitely not the shit. He doesn't have practice today, so I thought he'd be free. Managing text messaging with Leo is hard enough as it is. With him distracted, it would be even worse. Looks like I can't do it through here. I think I should talk to you about it in person. I see, okay. God, he always does this. 2 to 3 word responses. He's still probably hanging out with the other football folk outside school. Lucky bastard does his own truck now, so he mostly doesn't come home with us anymore. I find myself biting the inside of my cheek and quickly force myself to stop. Okay. I stare at my phone screen for a long while and eventually come to the conclusion that this is a waste of time. He doesn't seem to be in any hurry to respond now. I don't want to fuck this up by badgering him with my whinging revelation. Whinging revelation! That apparently I love cork while he'd rather be doing anything else. As the familiar landmarks of Railway and the red rock of Echo Canyon comes into view and out the window, my restless anxiety returns. Stating myself, I swipe back over to my contacts. Carl came in second place, so we'll go with Carol. Guess I'll have to wait for the right opportunity. Right now, not being it. I'm about to slide my phone into my pocket when I feel it vibrate against the pads of my palm. I got Gorgonzola at the mini market in Peyton. Because Flynn's voice was so low that a higher voice for him is just like normal. Well, that's informative. I honestly have no idea what this message means. Instinctively, I try to respond with something jabby. I'm sorry, Flynn. I'm sure they have a cream for that. I don't usually ever text Flynn, mainly because he doesn't ever text back. So this is weird, I guess. It's a type of salad, you musky fuck. Look at his picture, though. Why are you texting me about salad? Looking out the bus window, I can see that we're approaching Carl's stop. As the bus turns on to the neighborhood road, I scoot over some, speaking up to get Carl's attention. So I'm gonna get off with you here, okay? Carl just continues staring at his blank screen for a second before blinking and looking back at me. Are you sure? That might be pretty messy with Karen watching. Might give me performance anxiety. I didn't get it because I botched the line, but that is funny. Carl stares deadpan at me. I rest my forehead into my paw and groan, though I end up snickering a bit. The bus comes to a stop. Carl, this is where you get off. Chase wants to get off too. The bus. You have a note for me, folks? Shit. I look back to Carl, and he gives me a look of understanding. He unslings his backpack from his shoulder, rifling through it. Carl looks up at me briefly, mouthing one word. Stall. Tell a joke, ask about Keith. Who's Keith? Who the fuck is Keith? I don't know. Oh, Keith is her son. Tell a joke. I do. I make a motion of holding something up behind the seat. Carl seems to have found a pen and notepad and is scribbling hastily. So, Karen, how do you get a North Mountain State grad off your property? Karen gives me a rather dubious look, her silver gaze eyeing me up. You pay him for the pizza. The old fox lets out a huff that is half exasperated, half amused. Quiet! What in the heck? Be aware, Chase. My nephew is from NMS. Is 6'9" and played rugby. He might not take too kindly to that. Hey, Carl was the one who told it to me. Carl puts on a show of giving me a slightly narrowed look before slugging my shoulder. I don't have nearly the same level of cushion there as the ram, so even if it's for show, it still hurts. I feel something flutter onto my lap. As I pick it up, I see Carl has forged a note with my mother's signature style near perfectly. As much as the ram whinges about his lack of skill, his penmanship and art is not half bad. I give him a discreetly grateful look as we get up and move to exit the bus. Carl hops off first, his hooves making an audible clop noise upon the aged asphalt. However, as I move to hand my note to Karen, her calloused hand grasps my wrist instead of the note. I'm not that deaf and dumb, Kitty. I've been doing this job a long while. She relinquishes my wrist, the note fluttering to the ground. I can feel Carl staring nervously at us from the road. You got awful comedic timing, Chase, but it was a good joke. I'll tell my nephew that one myself. She shifts some in her large driver's seat, the cadence of her voice changing some as she looks to the back of the bus. I saw you back there, puffy-eyed and trembling. You afraid of something at home. I know how people can be out here. She pauses, bending down to pick up the dropped note before tossing it into the bus's trash bucket. I freeze, feeling the tips of my ears burn rosy at today's endless cavalcade of embarrassment, especially with kids. I'm not sure what she meant by that. We do! Oh, Jesus! I definitely am not sure what to say. I look back at Carl. He seems to be averting his gaze now, his paws deep in his hoodie pockets. Alright, I get it. Nobody trusts the hick bus driver to know what it's like to be a kid these days. Look, run along now. Sorry for, grabbing you. I'm used to them shirts Jeremy and Clint doing and getting me in trouble. Them shits. Them shirts. I try hard and force a smile. Oh, thanks. I appreciate your concern and all. Yeah, they are pretty shitty. Hey, language, kiddo! Sorry. Also, tell Carl his fly is down. He looks like a damn fool. I see Carl stiffen, quickly reaching down and fumbling with his zipper as his neon orange Superwolf box is visible through this fly. Karen just sighs. I feel my vote vibrate within my pocket. See you squirts on Monday. Oh my god! Well, that is... Jesus, I don't like it. That is closer to Carl's old sprite. Good lord. I step off the bus beside Carl and the doors shut behind me. Karen heading back toward the freeway. It gets dark so much earlier now that summer is over. Echo isn't exactly a major township, the area deemed a census-designated place, so we don't get streetlights. Carl watches the bus fade off into the distance before pulling out his phone. Can't wait until I get my own car and license. He starts texting. Let my parents know that you're coming over. We should troll around on that 3D virtue chat game again tonight. I spent some money and got myself this big luchador avatar. Except gave him big old breasts. He's called Mama Rita. Mama Maria? What the fuck was that? I don't know. I don't have anything plugged in where I could use a back button on, so I guess we'll just have to deal. I guess that would be backlog, wouldn't it? Mama Maria. Weird. He looks up at me with a smirk before turning and walking. How much did you spend? Was texting my aunt sent you. I follow, pulling out my phone. I don't know, was just grabbing what I needed, $15 maybe. That's a lot for one of those kinds of games, especially just for clothing. So what's up, Flynn? I'm at the bus stop on Elizabeth Street. Well, like, the luchador mask I wanted was one of the premium items. So it costed the most. Costed. Everything else was dirt cheap. Every single girl in that game uses the same hair, the long curly blonde one that cost like $1. I think Jazz is in a shit place right now. She doesn't miss school ever, and Jeremy was saying weird shit about her at lunch. At least they say they're girls. I'm just trying to be unique. Otherwise, what's the point? It's a social role-playing game, why risk getting ignored? I'm trying to keep away from home right now. I might stop by and check up on her. I actually have another account with a character that is more normal looking. I was going to after work. Her tit-dirt parents have been cunty as of late. You can see if you want, but doubt your pansy self can handle Jur if he's there. Fuck, why was that so hard to read? I made him after you left last time. I don't care if him and Clint are there. He's like this big primate-looking dude with burn scars everywhere and is kind of an albino-y face. I feel like that's one of those sentences you slip into a conversation to make sure the other person's listening. I had the idea for the character sort of based off of a dream I had once. Look, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this, but Leo is going to this party thing tonight. You should go too. Or not, I don't care. A party? Not an Echo, right? Was it for the election? Anyway, I went to a lot of the in-game hotspots at first. A lot of the stuff you and I saw when we were messing around. It's for the Day of the Dead. That's today. Bunch of jocks and townie types are gonna be there. Route 65 at Parsons Manufacturing. It's sort of like you said. Most of the people there are just middle-aged housewives who can barely type a sentence. But I sort of went off-grid. I guess you'd call it. Not the spots that aren't advertised on the destination finder. Started finding a lot of weird shit. They didn't mention it when I saw him. You going? Like weirder than the shit we were making, ironically, yeah? There were these places which looked like more real-life houses, not the usual fantasy exotic stuff. Just people living in virtual families in these boring-ass looking homes, complete with framed photos of screenshots of their characters. I got the impression that a lot of them were, like, foreign. I just said I'll be working, and when I get off, I'm heading to Jasmine's. Fucking deduce, school paper boy. I walked into this one flat, and these two... Okay, this segment is going on way too fucking long. I walked into this one flat with these two horse ladies in it. They had decorations with Turkish script everywhere. But they seemed normal enough. I was just curious. Fuck you. They had a TV item which displayed a slideshow of Photoshop photos of them with a baby. When I started exploring the house, I ended up walking into this nursery room, and they got really pissy. Oh shit. Okay, we're walking up to the mansion now. I thought about trolling, you know, and writing, "I eat the babby," and hopping up and down on the crib, but I don't know. It just felt like this weird mix of awkward and sad. Jace. Are you listening? Carl is standing in front of me with a concerned expression on his face. It takes a moment for me to respond. Yeah, just texting Flynn. He's actually responding to you? Yeah, I know. I look up the street, Carl's house sitting in its amber glowing glory atop the hill slope. The mansion actually looks like a mansion now, as opposed to just sort of like a house on a hill in the old game. I'd prefer this fucking sprite in Echo. Damn. Apparently there's a party happening tonight. Carl raises an inquisitive brow. Like, here or in general? I'm not sure what you mean by in general, but yeah, around here. It is for the Day of the Dead. Leo and I think maybe Flynn got invited. What? They didn't mention it to me at all. And I asked them to their faces if they had any plans. I shrug. Flynn made it sound like he was mainly just Peyton people coming out here. Yeah, but it is weird that they wouldn't mention that. It sounds like the most exciting thing that'll happen around here for months. Carl looks off to the side, shifting his posture some. I'd rather just stay home and play Virtue with you anyway. But seriously, what the fuck? The idea that two of our closest friends were keeping this a secret did make me feel pretty shitty. On top of all the other sensations of general shittiness I feel right now. It is at the Parsons Manufacturing Building on Route 65. That's sort of in the ass end of nowhere for a party. Maybe it's like a rave or something? I shrug again. I think we should go. Carl blinks, his expression akin to as if I just asked to rub his horns. First of all, dude, we weren't invited. Second, this is in the middle of nowhere. Third, isn't Day of the Dead for like... He pulls his paw out of his hoodie long enough to swirl it around in gesticulation, which is a word we keep hearing, apparently, as he tries to phrase this right. Latin folk. My blood is as Book of Mormon as it gets, dude. Fuck. Alright, first, Leo was there, so I don't see him not getting us in. Though it was weird he didn't invite us in the first place. Second, we live in the middle of nowhere. Anything local happening is technically in the middle of nowhere. Which still doesn't make it any more safe. Third, well, I don't know, I assume nothing too culturally sensitive is taking place in an abandoned factory, which won't save us from sticking out like sore thumb. Carl exhales through flared nostrils, lolling his head up as if being throttled by how much of a bad idea this is. Dude. He looks back down at me, a taut frown upon his muzzle. I don't know, I guess I'm kinda curious. Worst case, we stop in, smack Leo, and then make like Flynn's fetish and scat. Oh, that's actually... Oh my god, that's a way worse fucking sentence than I thought it was when I first said it. Jesus fucking Christ. Best case, we stop in, smack Leo, and they have food. I'd rip your tail off for a good cheese quesadilla right now. Don't do that. Oh, phone bus is in my grip. You're welcome. I gotta go. Try not to suck too much cork on your way there. Ugh, I wonder what these jokes are gonna be like once they know. That's good advice from Flynn. I don't know if you're gonna hold out the whole way, though. Glancing over with a start, I realize that Carl is leering over my shoulder, squinting at my phone. Christ! I exhale, turning my phone screen off. Yeah, I'll try my best. Carl lets out a brief, breathy bit of laughter before pulling out his phone. Lying to your parents time? Yep, your fault too. What should I say? You're hanging out at my house, that you're hanging out at Leo's house, that you're working on an art project, or tell the truth. The second most was art project. I'm going with that. Before we go, though, I wanted to check up on Jazz. I see Carl give me a bit of an inquisitive look, as if he isn't sure whether to protest this decision or not. It's on the way, sort of, and she wasn't at school today. Flynn told me that her parents have been worse as of late. Didn't know they could get much worse, dude. I know I may as well be the prep here, but they're like the definition of trailer trash. He pauses, then quickly adds, not Jazz, though. I nod some to the affirmative. Oh, my fucking hair tie is getting green screen. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? I nod some to the affirmative, then begin heading offward. I can see Carl looking a bit longingly towards his bedroom window, the aqua glow of his computer monitor visible from within. I have to admit that I am also kind of longing for some time on my laptop, though as I remember my situation this morning, my heart sinks. My laptop's probably been taken from me, and my parents probably are going to go through all my files and internet history. My fists clench in inward cringe. I just need to try to not think about it. Crossing over into Jasmine's neighborhood. Oh god, I am familiar with this fucking dirt path. Crossing over into Jasmine's neighborhood, the surface of the road shifts from asphalt to dirt. Whilst Echo's pavement is laden with alligator cracks and crumbling edges, the dirt road looks even worse. Each step we take kicks up a plume of dust, the sediment covering the road's top loose and sand-like. The clapping of Carl's hooves has been muffled, though, making everything seem sort of tranquil. I remember specifically that there was apparently something that happened on this road that caused Leo to ban us from walking on it. So, yay! I wonder if we're about to see what that was. Or at least we would see what it would be if we were going to do it in this episode, but guess what? We're not. We're going to do it in the next episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been trained up professional speaking with the voice in my head when I say, sayonara. Bye, everyone! Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.